What is up, Gamer Army? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Psycho Gamer. I am your host, Aubrey. Today we are going to continue my series of Arcade1up. We're going to go ahead and talk about X-Men versus Street Fighter. So while it is not out yet, there are a lot of pictures involved showing off the cabinet, what it's going to look like, and there's even some trailers for some of the games that are coming out, which are a bit older games, obviously, but Arcade1up did bless us with a preview video for it, so we're going to take a look at that today as well. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, share the video with your friends, let them know what's up, and stay tuned.
Here comes a new challenger.
Alright guys, I thank you for returning with me. If you are this far into the video, well, that means you are as excited as I am for this particular arcade machine. So what we're going to do, we're going to kind of look at the games that are going to be on this particular arcade cabinet. Like I said, we are going to look at some of the pictures of the controls and see if they're going to stand up to your actual expectations. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and switch over into my computer right now, where I'm already at the Arcade1up website. And voila, this is the cabinet that we're going to be looking at. So I don't see anything about it having a light up marquee. I would like to have it have a light up marquee, but I don't really see that in the future. The art on the side looks amazing, as well as the art on the riser really looks like it's going to stand out more than many of the other ones. It's not very plain. It looks like they took it directly from the video game itself or directly from a comic book. So if you are a fan of showing off the sides of your machines, then I think you're going to be very, very happy with how this is going to turn out. This is going to be the front of the machine. So it's going to show off X-Men Children of the Atom, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, and Marvel vs. Capcom, the one everybody's been waiting to be released on an Arcade1up machine. So, being that this is a re-release, the biggest issue a lot of people are going to wonder is, are the arcade sticks going to be able to stand up to all the abuse that most fighting games actually, put on the machine? Here we're going to look at the controls. It looks like your typical 6-button Street Fighter arcade style joysticks. You have the 8-way directional joystick, which is pretty synonymous with Street Fighter games. Now, from what I've talked to a lot of people with previous versions of some of Arcade1up's, their joysticks aren't the strongest in the world, so they end up replacing the arcade sticks, and many people are actually upgrading the buttons as well. So that's probably going to be something you're going to want to look forward to doing later on down the road. They're putting their on-off button, their volume control, which I kind of like the fact that you can control the volume on your own, as opposed to just having a preset volume or having to reach up to the top of the actual machine or have to go inside of it to adjust the volume like you had to on some arcade machines, which was really wonky and really sucked to have to do sometimes. The next screen is going to be the right side of the actual machine itself, and much like the other side, it is still mimicking Outlook, except on this side you actually have Street Fighter characters as opposed to X-Men characters on this particular side over there. So from the looks of it, the art is going to be really good. And, you know, that is going to be something that people are really going to love. Maybe it will be even a centerpiece for your mini arcade you have in your home. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the games that are going to be involved. X-Men Children of the Atom was an amazing fighter. It was just straight up X-Men fighting each other, and that's where you had a lot of the things like Wolverine, Berserker Barrage. You know, he really flourished in that game. They even brought many of those same attacks over to X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which in its own was also amazing. Now, X-Men Children of the Atom had a couple really good sequences in there, but I managed to scrounge up the intro for X-Men Children of the Atom. So check it out for the intro trailer right here.
X-Men. Here comes a new challenger. X-Men.
Object blast.
Here comes a new challenger.
So if you haven't really watched any of the trailers for X-Men Children of the Atom, or you never actually played the game back in its heyday when it was very popular in the arcade, then you need to kind of check that one out. If you already know what it's going to look like, well, then you were raised correctly by your parents. They didn't slap you around. They said, here's 50 cents. Go to the arcade. Go whoop some butt on some of the people there in the arcade. So, good on you. Good on you. So the next game we're actually going to look at a trailer on is obviously the title of this particular arcade machine. That's going to be X-Men versus Street Fighter. So, great game, great fighter. Check out this bit of gameplay as well as intro video right now.
Here you go!
Shinku Hadouken!
X-Men versus Street Fighter!
Double team! Yunga! Tornado Power! Yunga Flash! Tornado Power!
Alright, next game that is on this machine is X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. I think it's probably the only game on here that really wasn't an arcade game. It was just a basic side-scrolling brawler that was released on the Super Nintendo. Now, while I would love to show you the intro for it, it is like 5 minutes long, and it's just a lot of text. So what we're going to do, we're just going to switch over to my actual computer, and I'll just show you a little bit of gameplay footage of the game so you can kind of get an idea of what this kind of game is going to be all about. It may be one that you want to skip completely and just go with the other 3 games. But just check this out real quick. Now, I do have to admit, going over here, looking at Psylocke playing, she was pretty built. She was built pretty good. She was a little more true to the comic books than the last X-Men movie was as well. I really can't take much away from Olivia Munn. However, yeah, she just was not the best part for that particular character. So, those are things that you have to look forward to in terms of that game. If you don't want to play that game, I don't really blame you. Just looking up trailers online, it's going to take maybe about an hour for you to maybe beat the game all the way through. And that's a good day. So the 4th and final game that is going to be on the list for this particular arcade machine is obviously Marvel vs. Capcom. Now, I know a lot of people have been kind of screaming for this one to be re-released by them. However, they've bundled it with at least 2 other great games. 3 if you were a fan of Mutant Apocalypse. So, Marvel vs. Capcom changed fighting games and brawlers as we know it. How did it change it? Well, it was a matter of doing crossovers. X-Men vs. Street Fighter started it. Marvel vs. Capcom ran with it. But you have many of the people from the roster from Street Fighter, from the Marvel games, up to and including Mega Man. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at a trailer for the actual game. And it's going to have a little bit of gameplay in there, but most of it is just kind of animations more than anything else. So stay tuned, check out this trailer right now.
Capcom presents. Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom.
Geronimo! For destroyer!
I told you, the game was innovative for the time. The fact that it came out on the PlayStation and Sega Saturn and many of those other consoles back in the day, and not just the arcade, shows that it was a very big deal and a very big game as well. You know, it was used for tournaments for many years after that. And then Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out, and everybody forgot about the first one because The animation was just so much better on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And things were, for some people, they were a little bit more balanced. So, hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. Hopefully you're enjoying the Arcade1up series that I've been doing. Please leave a like and a subscribe. And share it with your friends, like I said. And put down below what characters you like actually fighting with. I was a big fan of using Wolverine. Obviously your Street Fighter characters are great, but Wolverine was just fun to use more than anything else. But which one were your favorite characters? Put it below. And don't forget, as always guys, game on.